Let's get brutally honest for a moment. You're not tired because life is too hard. You're tired because you're constantly fighting a war inside your own skin, every day, quietly, relentlessly. A war between who you truly are and who the world told you to be. A war between your soul's truth and your mind's conditioning. Between your power and your fear. And the hardest part? Most people don't even know they're at war. Because the battlefield, it isn't out there. It's in here, behind your eyes, beneath your thoughts, inside your nervous system. I've seen it in the eyes of thousands of people. I've lived it in my own story. And what I know without a doubt is this. The most exhausting war you'll ever fight is the one against yourself. And the truth is, it's the only war humanity has ever really been fighting. But today, right now, that war ends. We're not here to cope. We're not here to numb. We're here to wake up. Because once you see the lies for what they are, you're free. This is the beginning of your return to truth. Hey, I'm Mike Oglesbee, and this message is for the ones who are doing everything right, but still feel like something's missing. You've read the books, you've gone to therapy, you've said the affirmations, maybe you've even stepped into spirituality or found refuge in religion, but deep down, you still feel unworthy, unseen, imprisoned by something you can't quite name. This message is for you because what you're feeling, it isn't failure. It's the residue of your programming. You were taught to doubt yourself, taught to shrink, to survive, not to live, to conform, to please, to suppress your fire and call it humility. You were programmed to fear your own greatness and to mistake that fear for wisdom. Let me be clear. This is not about motivation. This is about liberation. You are not broken. You are not defective. You are not too far gone. You were conditioned. And the war you've been fighting inside, that war is not a weakness. It's a sign that your truth is rising. And it's refusing to be silenced any longer. Let's fix that. Let's return to who you were before the world told you who to be. We tend to believe that our mind is who we are, that our thoughts are personal, sacred, intentional. But they're not. They're patterns, echoes, old recordings on repeat. Your mind is not your identity. It's a machine, a brilliant one, yes, but mechanical by nature. It takes what you've been exposed to, and it memorizes it. Fear? Memorized. Shame? Memorized. Lack? Guilt? Control? If that's what it learned, then that's what it will play on a loop, over and over, regardless of how badly you want something new. So when that voice says, you're not good enough, you're behind, you'll never get it right. Let me say this as clearly as I can. This is not your truth. That is your training. Your thoughts aren't always lies, but they're not always truth either. And your power begins, your freedom begins, the moment you stop believing everything your mind tells you. Because your mind might be loud, but your truth is deeper. And it's time to start listening to the deeper voice. Let's talk about sabotage. Because if you're like most people I work with, you're not lazy, you're not undisciplined, and you're not broken. You're scared. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that your nervous system, your subconscious, has been trained to associate success with danger. Because somewhere in your past, standing out got you hurt. Speaking your truth got you punished. Being authentic got you rejected. Trying something new meant risking everything. So now, when you get close to growth, close to a real breakthrough, your mind hits the brakes. Your system flares up. The same old alarm starts screaming. Too much, too fast, not safe. And suddenly, you're self-sabotaging. But here's the truth. You're not trying to ruin your life. You're trying to protect yourself from pain. It's just the protection is outdated. What saved you back then is strangling you now, and it's time to choose again. There was a time in my life when I looked strong on the outside, but inside, I was falling apart. I believed the voice that told me I was too much, and somehow still not enough. Too intense, yet not loud enough. Too different, yet unworthy to belong. So I did what many of us do. I became the peacekeeper, the performer, the one who made everyone else feel safe, while quietly drowning in my own silence. I remember nights I'd lie awake, success all around me, yet feeling like a fraud. Like I was showing up for everyone but myself. There was this quiet ache, a whisper within that said I meant for more. But no matter what I did, no matter how much I achieved, it never felt like enough. Because I hadn't healed the lie I was still living. And the lie was this: who I am is not okay, and never will be. But the moment I challenged that lie, everything began to change. Because when you stop defending the false self, you finally give the real you a chance to rise. Let me offer you a universal truth, one that changed my life. Life doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you believe. That's not just a nice idea. It's law. You can journal all the affirmations in the world. You can visualize, pray, set goals. But if deep down you believe you're unworthy, you'll sabotage your success. You'll push away the very thing you say you want. And you'll call it bad luck, bad timing, or destiny. When really, it's programming. If you believe love isn't safe, you'll find relationships that prove it. If you believe your worth is tied to how much you produce, you'll burn yourself out trying to earn something that was already yours. If you believe your voice doesn't matter, you'll silence yourself before anyone else ever gets the chance to. You'll repeat what you believe, not what you deserve. Because your life is always mirroring something. And here's the part most people miss. The reflection? It isn't punishment. It's feedback. It's information. It's the universe showing you what you've agreed to internally so you can choose again. You're not being attacked. You're being shown. And that mirror, it can change the moment you stop living from fear and start living from truth. Because when your inner world shifts, your entire reality reconfigures to match it. So the question becomes, what belief is your life currently reflecting? And are you ready to choose something new? Let's name the real culprits, the silent scripts that keep you stuck, spinning, suffering. Because until you expose them, you'll keep calling them truth. You'll keep living by them, defending them, even though they're quietly killing your joy. Here are 4 of the biggest lies I see keeping people at war with themselves. 1, I have to earn my worth. This one is brutal. It's the silent belief that your existence alone isn't enough. That you have to prove something, achieve something, be more, do more, impress more. Only then will you deserve love, rest, joy, peace. But the truth is this: your worth was never up for debate. It doesn't fluctuate with your performance. It isn't something you achieve through hustle or perfection. It's something you remember as you peel back the layers of who you were never meant to be. You don't earn your worth. You return to it. Number 2, if I speak my truth, I'll be rejected. This one runs deep, especially if your childhood taught you that love had conditions. So now, even as an adult, you second guess your voice. You tone yourself down. You censor your feelings. You play it safe. But here's the deeper truth. Yes, speaking your truth might cost you some people, but silencing it will always cost you yourself. Peacekeeping on the outside creates devastation on the inside. And every time you swallow your truth to stay accepted, you reinforce the lie that your real self is unlovable. Take this in. If they only love your mask, they don't really love you. Number 3, I need to be more confident before I act. This lie is the ultimate stall tactic. You keep waiting for confidence to show up like a golden ticket, but it never comes. Why? Because confidence isn't the pre-game, it's the reward. You don't become confident and then act. You act and become confident by surviving it, by realizing the world didn't end when you showed up imperfectly, by building the muscle of courage, one imperfect rep at a time. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. The only way to feel ready is to go anyway. Number 4, I'm not ready. The illusion of readiness. This one keeps more people stuck than almost anything else because it feels responsible. It sounds smart. You tell yourself, I just need a little more time, a little more healing, a little more prep. But beneath it is fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being seen in the becoming. Let me say it plainly. Readiness is a myth. Alignment is the only requirement. And sometimes alignment doesn't feel like confidence. It feels like a sacred nudge in the middle of your doubt that says, go anyway. Every time you act from these lies, you deepen the inner war. You split from your truth. You betray the part of you that's trying to rise. But every time you call them out, every time you choose the deeper truth, you end the war. You come home, and that's what this is really about. Not becoming someone new, but finally becoming you. One of my clients recently came to me feeling completely stuck. On the outside, they looked like they had it all together. They had a stable job, solid relationships, they were well respected, but inside, chaos. They couldn't hear their own voice anymore. They second guessed every decision. They overthought every move. And fear had become the background music of their life. As we began to unpack their patterns, a truth emerged, one that hit them like a tidal wave. They had learned to abandon themselves for approval, to trade their truth for safety, to shapeshift in every room just to avoid rocking the boat. And every time something felt unsafe, even slightly, they outsourced their power. They deferred to others. They asked, what should I do? Instead of, what do I know? So I asked them one question. What would life look like if you trusted yourself again? And something cracked open. It didn't happen all at once. There was no big lightning bolt. But they started small. They began making decisions without explaining themselves. They honored their gut even when it didn't make sense to anyone else. They started catching the lie mid-thought and saying, not this time. And little by little, the war started to quiet. Now, their life looks completely different. Not because they became someone new, but because they finally came home to who they've always been. And that's the point. Healing doesn't require reinvention. It requires remembrance. You don't need to become more. You just need to come back. So let me ask you, what lie is still running your life? Because the moment you name it, you take away its power. You break the agreement. You begin to wake up. You don't need more information. You've read enough. You've done enough. You are enough. It's not to say that those things aren't good and in many ways warranted, because they are. But what you need is permission. Permission to stop the war, to lay down the sword, to silence the voice that never belonged to you, to come home and to remember peace was never outside of you. It was never something to earn. It was never waiting in the next achievement, relationship, or breakthrough. Peace is who you were before the world told you otherwise. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment below and let me know, what truth are you choosing today? Because when you speak it, you anchor it. And when you share it, you free others to do the same. And if someone you know is caught in their own inner war, send this to them. No one deserves to live in a prison built by lies. I'm Mike Oglesbee, and I'm here to remind you of what's real. You are not broken. You are not behind. And you are not the war. You are the one who gets to end it. And your life, it's waiting to rise with you. Let's go.